TerraCVita just released a critical update around the Terraport hack scenario. There's some information that you guys need to know, and spoiler alert, you're going to want to stay till the end because I have some really hot takes as to what's going on here, so let's get into it. This thread starts out by saying, as we are all aware, our fantastic LUNC community has massive energy in fighting crime as well as seeking out the truth. This is a great strength. However, this unadulterated energy can lead to conspiracy theories as well, which there are definitely some conspiracy theories, but I just want to make it very clear. If someone presents blockchain evidence behind their claims and someone else just says that is FUD, the person who says it is FUD is either one, doesn't know what they're talking about, or two, they are lying to you. So there definitely are some conspiracy theories. Don't get that wrong. People are saying, oh, MEXC is on his way to the Bahamas right now. Like some of that stuff, there is no evidence behind that it would be considered a conspiracy theory. But some of the other stuff that was brought forward by myself and others that has blockchain evidence, and that's what we're presenting, that is actual factual information. That is not simply a conspiracy theory or FUD. So the truth behind what happened, the team was not subject to a hack, but an orchestrated, planned, long-term infiltration that started 3 months ago with an individual using a fake identity. So it seems like somebody actually infiltrated into the team with the intentions of doing this, and they used a fake identity to get themselves in there, and they've been working with the team, it sounds like, at least going back 3 months. Now this matches some of the information that myself and others brought forward, where it appeared that different wallets that were involved in the development of Terraport were actively interacting, sending money over to these hacker wallets before they actually committed the hack, or I should say attack, on the Terraport ecosystem. This is something that was confirmable on the blockchain, that these brand new wallets that committed the attacks were originally funded by these different wallets that helped in the development of the Terraport ecosystem. So it does sound like that matches up with what TerraCVita is saying here, that it was somebody who infiltrated and then ended up committing this attack. Now, investigations conducted by Binance's security team and law enforcement has linked the attacker to a known criminal organization with a long pedigree for mounting attacks such as this one. So it sounds like this was not just a developer one-off kind of scenario. This is actually supposedly an organized criminal organization that actually has a history of doing attacks like this. Now, they've been responsible for many other attacks in the crypto space, and it sounds like, unfortunately, they will not be bargained with. They have immense resources, and they will not give in. So the funds have not been recovered yet, most likely will not be recovered from the sound of this. Given the sensitive nature of the situation and to maximize chances of a successful recovery of funds, we've not been able to communicate the details as quickly as we would have liked. Obviously, we are pretty close to a week after the hack now, and we are finally getting this information, so it has been a while. But they say this afterwards. While this has led to some FUD, and again, blockchain information is not FUD, conspiracy theories, that kind of stuff, that could be considered FUD, they've been hard at work behind the scenes. Now, on a somewhat good note, with coordination of Binance's and other services that receive funds, like other exchanges, they successfully froze an estimated 55% off-chain by the value of the total amount that was stolen, and they're increasingly confident this will be returned, and they're going to continue to track the funds that were not recovered. This event serves as a lesson to allow us to learn and improve upon our internal security and related practices. We hope others will also benefit from their experience. This is definitely true. They probably should have done more research into this individual before giving them control and access to millions of dollars of customer funds. We apologize for any distress caused and any lack of foresight on our part. Now, I just want to be clear here. This is something that kind of upsets me. They say lack of foresight. They didn't need foresight to predict the future here. There were people who reached out to them with concerns, either regarding the security of the Terraport platform or, like myself, with discrepancies, millions of dollars worth of tokens that just didn't make sense. And they ignored, from my opinion, it seems like they ignored those concerns. So they didn't need foresight. They just needed the ability to sit down, spend an hour, look into the concerns, and realize, wow, there is something here. This is something that's concerning. We should probably investigate it further after that. However, they weren't willing, in my opinion, to sit down and do that research. So they hold way more blame, in my opinion, than just simply a lack of foresight. If you guys appreciate the time and effort that I spent researching the Terraport, trying to provide you information, trying to help figure out what occurred here, what actually happened, finding blockchain data, spending over 40 hours, make sure you guys subscribe down below so you don't miss more important information just like this. They continue to say all of Terraport's code is currently under audit by Certec. We're going to circle back on that in a second because I don't think that's entirely true, at least not in the way that they're framing it. And we tend to maintain our ongoing relationship with them to ensure a safer future for the project. Audit findings will be made available to the community. Now that's good. We definitely need to see the audit findings. But what I don't like is this wording here. The Terraport code is currently under audit by Certec. That implies that Certec is currently reviewing it. And that is not just a one-off thing. We have other tweets from Antonio, another another member, as well as the TerraCVita Twitter account that say things, this is going back March 23rd, so quite a few days ago, basically 3 weeks ago at this point, Certec audit underway and results due in about 3 weeks. Now, I'm not sure where they got that information that results will be due in 3 weeks from that point, or that the audit was presently underway, because in my opinion, that implies to a lot of the community that they are currently reviewing it and that it should be done in about 3 weeks. That's what people thought when they looked at this, as you can see by hundreds of comments out on Telegram, Discord, Twitter, from people that are saying, wait, we thought that the audit was already in progress, but that does not seem to be the case. When you go over to the Certec website, this is what the Terraport website looks like. Most importantly, this code audit history, it says audit not available right now. There's no information given here, but if we look at what an in progress audit actually looks like, here's another token that is being audited. You can see the code audit history. It says first, project scheduled complete, audit is ongoing, and it shows a percentage. It says it is 10% complete, and then these other steps that have to be completed. Here's another one that's another step forward. So this one had completed its audit, and now the project is reviewing. So it looks like this actually updates, and I actually reached out to the Certec support team to get clarification as to what's going on here. And what they said is that this code and audit history, this automatically updates as progress is made. So as they go from the audit ongoing to this project reviewing section, or as they complete different progress in the project review section, see how it says 85% right there, that automatically updates. Now, in response to a couple of my questions, and there's a full conversation that I'd be happy to release if I actually have to go to that step, but here's what I want to highlight for you guys. Upon checking with our team, the progress that you see under the code audit history automatically updates based on the current status of the audit. Aside from that, we don't have any further info that we can share publicly. I followed up on that. I said just one last clarification. So once the first step project schedule is completed, it will automatically update the current state of the audit, ? And they said, yes, any updates on the audit progress should be visible under the code audit history, which confirms, in my opinion, that this project, the Terraport audit, has not even reached the stage of the project scheduled section, as that should be, according to their exact words, and the exact question that I asked them about that specific point, that should be updated here. So I'm not sure where Terraport initially got the idea that their audit was under progress currently, that it was going to be due in 3 weeks, because it seems like it has not even been scheduled yet. Furthermore, we have this tweet from Antonio, who seems to be a member of the TerraCVita team, as you can see by the TerraCVita community team list, and Antonio is listed right here, supposedly a developer in the finance section. So I'm guessing they worked on this project, but I'm not entirely sure on that. They are a developer, it sounds like, though. However, they said this on April 2nd, we commuted our contracts 4 days ago. Now, this is curious because I'm wondering how Certec would have been in the process of actually doing the audit been underway, and the results due in about 3 weeks from March 23rd, when supposedly, according to Antonio, the contracts had only been communicated 4 days ago from April 2nd. So at the time of TerraCVita first tweeting that the contracts or the audit was underway, results due in about 3 weeks, it sounds like, based on what Antonio is saying, that the contracts had not actually been even given over to Certec at that time. So regardless as to whether there's a miscommunication between Antonio and TerraCVita, whatever it is, I'm not sure where they got this idea that the audit was underway and due in about 3 weeks. As you can see very clearly on the Certec website, the audit is not available currently. There has not been any of these progress actually updated for the audit page, and as the team said, that will automatically be updated even for this first one, project scheduled, which has not been completed. So they don't even have a schedule yet as to when this audit should be beginning. Now, as we scroll down, you can see they say this: we are increasingly confident sufficient funds will be recovered to allow Terraport to relaunch and for us to continue to provide support for LUNC with innovative products, infrastructure support, L1 contributions, and stability for the ecosystem. I'm not exactly sure what that means as to how they're going to end up returning the customer funds that are not recovered, what their plan is to remedy that issue there, but it does sound like they are confident that they're going to have a path forward to continue with Terraport. In pursuit of this, we will issue a new roadmap to relaunch Terraport and maximize investor/user returns, provide needed support to aid LUNC recovery, help projects wishing to build on Terra Luna Classic, and build on the success of the initial launch success. Now, on this point, I just want to make something else very clear here. It could be entirely possible that the person behind this attack actually ended up manipulating the tokenomics of Terraport, because something I showed off in another video is that the tokenomics just don't match what they should be. As you guys can see right here, the initial pre-sale or private sale for Terraport was supposed to have 40 million tokens. That is it. However, as I've looked through the blockchain, I've confirmed that over 50 million tokens are actually allocated to this private sale, and someone else did some code stuff and verified in their opinion that over 70 million tokens are allocated to the private sale, which means there are 30 million tokens in this private sale that are not supposed to be there. At the price before the great hack or attack of Terraport, that was millions of dollars that should not have been there. So we need to get that sorted out. We need to figure out who controls those wallets that had millions of dollars allocated to them, as well as some other weird things that occurred when we look at, for example, the marketing allocation, where somebody basically gave themselves around 10% of the marketing allocation, and we don't know. Maybe that's, again, the same person who did this attack. Maybe it's something else that's going on here, but we need answers, and we need these things to be fixed before Terraport launches. If they go ahead and launch without fixing these tokenomic issues, in my opinion, they are doing the investors an extreme disservice and an extremely bad actor manner, because they were made aware of this before the attack even occurred, and they chose to ignore this kind of thing. So if they continue to go forward without addressing these issues, in my opinion, they are acting in a malicious manner. Because again, this is blockchain data that can be verified on the blockchain, that they're over this 40 million tokens allocated to the private sale and actively earning a higher APR, 90% APR, which means that you as an investor who bought into maybe pre-sale 1, pre-sale 2, earning your 70 or 60% APR, you are effectively being diluted by this. Now, this again is on the blockchain. This is verifiable. I have dozens of transactions that I could open up publicly if anybody wanted to verify that information. And in fact, this document is public, and at the bottom of this document, there are pages of transactions supporting my evidence here. So if anybody wanted to verify this, they could actually go ahead and verify these claims that I'm making. This is not simply FUD. This is verifiable on the blockchain. Today's video is made possible thanks to today's sponsor, Cremation Coin. Now, Cremation Coin has enabled me to spend over 40 hours probably at this point researching Terraport, bringing you guys information because they help sponsor videos just like this. Now, Cremation Coin, they have currently burned over 300 million Terra Luna Classic in an effort to support the Terra Luna Classic community, and they are burning a significant chunk of all of their revenue. It's not just some small percentage. They're burning a large chunk of all the revenue that they bring in to help actually support the Terra Luna Classic community, which is how they've burned so much Terra Luna Classic in such a short period of time. Now, right now, Cremation Coin is having an Ethereum fair launch. What this means is that if you guys want to get into this Cremation Ethereum token, they're still going to have the Binance Smart Chain version, but if you prefer the Ethereum network, this gives you an opportunity to still support the Terra Luna Classic burns. Now, what's nice about this fair launch is everyone who buys in is getting it at the exact same price. So if you wanted to buy into the Cremation fair launch after, of course, doing your own research into this project, make sure that this project is right for you. If you did buy into this project, currently they've raised about 28 Ethereum. That means that all of these people who bought in, they're going to buy in at the exact same price. So if you buy in with this project, you're going to get in at the exact same price as me. I don't get in at a cheaper price as you. You get in at the same price as me. You have the same opportunities in this project as I do. Now, as you want to look into the Cremation project, you guys can go over to their website right here. They have this awesome documents tab. Makes it super easy for you to click up here, and then you get this whole section of all this information that you want to check out. You can verify their Terra Luna Classic burns. You can read into their white paper. You can learn more about their tokenomics. But what's really amazing is how they're able to burn so much Terra Luna Classic. And this is made possible due to the taxes on their token, which they contribute a significant portion to the Terra Luna Classic burn. As you can see right now, taxes coming in total at 8%, and half of that is going to Terra Luna Classic burns. It's not like 10% or some small amount. It is half of their revenue that is going towards supporting the Terra Luna Classic burns. And so to wrap things up, this was in fact somebody working on the Terraport launch who committed this attack. This was not an outside attack. This was somebody within the Terraport team who committed this attack on the Terraport ecosystem. The team also, in my opinion, seems to be giving themselves not enough responsibility for their actions and their lack of accountability, lack of due diligence, lack of double checking and listening to people who brought up security concerns before the attack occurred, because they could have avoided this. And in my opinion, going forward, they have a really tough time trying to recover community trust, because personally, people like myself will be on top of them, making sure that they're being honest to themselves and the community going forward. Now, if you guys appreciate all of this research, all this due diligence that I've done, this document that I put together outlining a bunch of the research I did and a bunch of the evidence that I collected, make sure you guys subscribe down below so you don't miss another video just like this. I want to bring you guys the hard evidence that supports my claims and supports what's actually happening there, not just tell you some story.